Cancer. Hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early July 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancer Collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cancer Collective in Cancer season, might I add, in early July 2026? And what energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer in early July. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. We're going to have some fun today, my friends. And while I get this card out, I just want to once again wish you all a very happy birthday from me to you. Whether it's already passed, whether it's still coming up, I really hope you have a great one, my friends. It's going to be a good year. Okay, so our first card is out. All right. With this guardian angel, this is huge when it comes to focused intention. It's very creative and highly spiritual. So there's a few layers to this proverbial onion, right? And I do think it's a pretty good way to start off a reading. Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this bald-headed individual here with the angel wings. You can't really tell, but those are actually angel wings looking over this little baby, right? And the Vitruvian man tattooed on the head while looking at this in utero baby, to me, it really emphasizes creation. Now, I'm a big believer that thoughts become things, manifestation, all that stuff. We don't have to just pigeonhole it to that alone, but there could be something about focus, what you're putting your attention on, or things that you're not putting your attention on. So yeah, first and foremost, huge when it comes to spiritual protection, whether it's guides, angels, spirit team, ancestors, you name it. This is a beautiful insulated energy, so that's always very reassuring. But look at this angel locked in on this creation. So for some cancers, maybe there's a certain thing or situation where spirit's like, hey, you need to focus on this a little more. Or it could be the inverse. Maybe there's certain other things that might need your attention. Maybe spirit's like, hey, maybe don't stare at this thing or don't pay too much attention to it. Not saying that you need to ignore something, but it gives me that King of Wands vibe where it's like energy flows where attention goes, right? So it's like the more I focus something, the more I'm feeding it my intention. This is great for manifesting, right? It really is. But it is also something about focus, what you're feeding yourself, if that makes sense. So we're just going to leave them right here. It's a great protective, creative power. So any creative endeavor is highly favored. But we're going to let him do what he's doing. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Cancer. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. The energy was pretty good. The reading was titled An Unexpected Win. Now, I always say wins, victories, they come in all different shapes and sizes, right? Like it could be a money thing, it could be a personal relationship thing. It might just be life itself. Maybe you had a couple of really great days. But the overarching theme I was picking up last week was something going better than expected or a win coming in that wasn't even on my radar. So if that hasn't happened for you yet, just know the energy could still be around. That could bleed over for a couple weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So we take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Cancer to start us off. What do we got for our good friends here? Okay. Queen of Swords, stern, serious. She is about her business, my friends. I like the Queen of Swords, especially in the first position, because, like, to me, there's a certain air of seriousness to her. And we'll get into that further, but I like the Queen of Swords. Very focused. Let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple more here for Cancer. Okay, got the World. Interesting. That could be a metamorphosis of some kind. But she is staring it right down. Let's get one more. I mean, that could be a very big transformation of some sort. Let's see what we got. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, so we have other people showing up here in a pretty big way, since we're only three cards in and two of them are other people. And we'll expand on that, but let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading and gives us a good foundation to work from and tells us how the energy might be flowing. And it is fire air predominant. Now, we do have the world, which to me, I don't give to one element alone. It's more so fixed energy, which is earth like. But to me, major arcana are just big, powerful, energetic themes. Now, when it comes to the air, that's matters of the mind, matters of perception. It's very logical, pragmatic. It's all about the facts. The fact of the matter is this, right? That's a big vibe when it comes to the air. Uh, Aside from the planning and strategy, air is good when it comes to either giving or receiving information. That's why it is the suit of communication, but it does deal with the mindset in a big way. So the downside of air is sometimes it can represent overthinking, thought loops, things like that. It could be cold. It could be very distant as well. So who knows? There might be certain things that you're trimming away when the swords show up. But then here on the back end, we have fire. And, you know, I always say with the fire and air combination, that could increase the volatility a little bit, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. But fire is the realm of action. So it's like thoughts become actions. Thoughts become actions. Now, when it comes to the actions, it could be your actions, it could be someone else's actions, it could even be lack of actions for all we know. Fire to me is a high vibrational frequency. Um, it could deal with health and wellness, right? Like it could deal with energy levels. Are you feeling high energy? Are you feeling a little bit tired? Both of those could be in play. But the only big downside I always say when it comes to the fire is that it's hard to contain. It could be very unpredictable. So there's an explosive quality to it, especially when we mix these two on the ends. So it's going to be intriguing to see how it all plays together. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with the beautiful Queen of Swords. Now, again, there's other people showing up here. I'm not seeing any Cancer cards just yet. So, I mean, maybe there's more people around you than normal. Maybe you're a little more popular than you usually are. But I like the Queen of Swords. All queens represent the internal aspect of the suit. And we spoke about the swords, how it's like logical, pragmatic, to the point. The thing I love about the Queen of Swords, if you're not connected to an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and again, it's not gender specific, but the Queen of Swords to me is straightforward and to the point. What you see is what you get. It's a very honest, very truthful type of energy. Like I call it like I see it. That's the thing with her. Could it deal with planning and strategy? Potentially, right? Like she is a good strategist, highly intelligent, very sharp. Sometimes she'll show up if you're looking for information, if you're doing a little bit of digging, if you're trying to figure certain things out and connect the dots. Queen of Swords is the name of the game there. I just love the straightforward approach. But the downside to her, yeah, she could be a little hurtful sometimes, right? Like she could have a very sharp tongue. She could say some mean things that cut a little bit deep. So we want to look into her further for sure. And as I mentioned, this is an energy that's like, let's get to work. Let's get down to business. I'm not messing around. I'm not playing around. So she can show up when there's either something that should be taken seriously, or maybe there is something that's already serious in nature. That's very possible. Now, moving to the middle, we have a bit of a transitional type of energy. And some of you that read might be like, all right, Kyle, that's not transitional. That's the world. That's the last of the major arcana. Generally, it can represent the close of a cycle. And that is true. But when I look at the world, I don't think of like 10 of Swords endings. To me, it's like the close of one chapter, opening of the next. So it's like, all right, we're turning the page. Now we're opening a new. And it's very interesting that it's your birthday season where it's like, all right, we're closing the chapter on that. We're opening up this brand new venture. So this to me is a card of metamorphosis. It's a card of change, transformation, deep seated change, right? Life is all about change. And things are always progressing, but this is pretty major. So we do want to look at this further. Other things I think of with the world, it is cyclical, it is karmic, it can represent karmic things, karmic situations. Another thing about it, sometimes it shows up when things loop back around or when we touch base on certain things. So we're just going to need to take a look at it. It is a slow mover, though. That's the thing. It's very slow moving. Now, on the back end, coming out the other side of this world, we have the Page of Wands. Now, for some of you, you might be connected to a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could represent a younger individual. If it's not a fire sign or a younger individual, I always say pages to me, they represent new, they represent fresh. They're very similar to aces. They're messengers, they're students. So, like, to me, could this be a lot of chit chat, a lot of chatter, a lot of talking? Very possible. We're going to have to see how it all plays together when we start clarifying it. So, this can be a talk of some kind. But the Page of Wands is exerting a lot of effort, a lot of energy. And that's the downside of the Page of Wands. Like, it could be so hyped for this, or it could want something so bad that it could burn itself out. So, I think there could be, I don't want to say a risk of burning yourself out, but I would watch out for that with the Page of Wands. But again, it could just be a chat, it could be a talk, it could be something new, a fresh endeavor or a new direction. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Cancer. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Queen of Swords. Yeah, she could be a little chatty too. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. You could wish your fellow Cancerians a happy birthday. Let's get this going. What do we got with the Queen of Swords? Cool. Oh, okay. All right. So this is an energy that wants to get something done, right? Like not necessarily ending something, but like when I see Temperance in reverse underneath the Queen of Swords, it is very much that, like, all right, let's take care of business. Let's not delay this. Let's take this seriously. Now, another thing to mention, we had a very angelic energy in the front end, which is really great. Now we have Temperance, which has the Archangel Michael on it, the defender, the protector. So for those of you that need to hear it, tons of angelic energy around the Cancer Collective right now. Temperance, though, it does link to Sagittarius, but the main overarching theme with Temperance is it's chill, it's laid back, it's not doing much, right? It's just being very patient and it's letting things unfold. So when I see it in reverse underneath this Queen of Swords, it's like, all right, I got to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm marking things off my list. I'm busy, busy, busy. So it is action oriented, and this is also fire. So Queen of Swords with Temperance in reverse, that's explosive action. If it's not that, it's someone that's like very serious about handling business right now. So I know a lot of beautiful Cancers in my personal life. I know generally the Cancerian energy is more flow based normally. But when I see the Queen of Swords with Temperance in reverse, it's like, all right, let's put that flow out the window and let's just handle business. Let's get it done. Let's get some results. So could it be a serious situation? Potentially, right? That could be causing this urge of energy. Could it be something that you are taking seriously or need to? Yes, as well. But it does have that explosive action to it where it's like, all right, I'm not waiting. I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm just going to do this. I need to do this. And it's not like ripping a band aid off, but it's like, I'm just ready to get this done. So let's keep moving. Let's see what the world has. That could be good. That energy could be good depending on how it's utilized, right? Let's see what's up with the world. Now I really want to see what happens when we get to that page, because this is like a burst of energy right here on the front. But let's see what's up with the world. So why is that here for my beautiful Cancerians? Cool. Thank you. Okay. So if you want to get something done, you got to do it yourself, right? Like, I don't know why it's giving me that. It's like an energy that rolls up its sleeves. That's how this feels to me. So for the Cancer Collective, you may have a very strong independent streak to you in this time. So we have the Two of Cups in reverse underneath this world. So remember the change, the metamorphosis. For some of you, there may be changes in certain dynamics right now. So whether that be friendships, family members, loved ones, romance, you name it. Like when I see the Two of Cups in reverse underneath the world, it's like, yeah, no, there's a change in our dynamic. There's a change in this. I'm not saying that there's an ending and that, there's someone that you're moving out of your life, but to me, that it just feels like changes in dynamics between relationships. Now, if it's not that first intuitive vibe I was picking up, like, if you want something done, you need to do it yourself. Or that independent streak is strong because when we have the Two of Cups, yes, that's a card of soul ties, soul connections, partnerships of all kinds. Usually it's very flowy, and this is a card of assistance, help, right? So in reverse, underneath the world, it's like, I'll do it myself. Like, I'm going to handle this. I'm going to handle business. So whether that's an energy you're bringing forth, I mean, you may have a lot more urgency to you in this time than you normally do, where it's like, no, yeah, I'm not going to wait for someone to do it for me. I'm going to do it myself. It's like one of those. We're going to keep moving. So that's the main thing in the center. There could be a lot of changes in dynamics of people you surround yourself with, but not just that, there could be changes within those people. But even going further, it is a very independent energy where it's like, if you know, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Let's go in on the Page of Wands. It does have an empowering feel to it too, which I like. But let's see what's up with that page, and then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Very intriguing stuff, my good friends. So why is that Page of Wands here? There we go. Happy ending. Happy ending. So it's like once you turn a certain corner, the results are like written in stone. We have the Ten of Cups in the upright underneath this Page of Wands. It's like once you really turn that corner, there's no going back, but in a good way, right? The Ten of Cups is one of the best cards in the whole entire deck. So, like when I see the Page of Wands, Ten of Cups, could that be some like really good, really exciting news coming in? Absolutely. Win, victory energy? Absolutely. So it's like 2 weeks in a row where we have this win based, victorious based type of energy tied in with the explosive action. It just feels really great to me. The Ten of Cups is wish fulfillment. You see the happy family, big rainbow in the sky, best case scenario. So, like, yeah, when I see the Page of Wands, unless you're starting a brand new chapter, starting a brand new venture, have a new outlook, a new way of doing things, thinking outside of the box, you could get very good results with that. But to me, how it feels here in the center is like once I get serious about something, once I turn this corner, boom, the results are there for the taking. That's how it feels. So I love it. I do, especially in your birthday season. Page Wands with the Ten of Cups. It's like great, great energetic potential here. So I feel like that's very much claimable. So it's intriguing to me, where it's like the energy gets serious and it's very motivated, and it's like, you know, I'm going to do it myself. And then boom, we have this very positive result. But yeah, with the page, the conversational page and the Ten of Cups, this could be some really good, exciting news coming in. I just think it's beautiful. I do. So let's go through and do a quick recap. I love how that ended because, you know, if this was something like the Ten of Swords or a different type of vibe, I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe this energy needs to get toned back. I don't think so. I think this energy might need to be leaned into a little further, if anything. But if we look here in the box, position number one, we start here with the Queen of Swords, Temperance in reverse, very, very motivated. Let's do this, let's get this done type of energy. So you might have a burst of motivation in this time to handle some kind of business. It could represent a serious situation of some kind or something you need to take seriously, or maybe you already are. But yeah, with the fire air combo, it's like I'm not waiting. I'm taking action, explosive action. I'm moving forward. In the center, we have the world with the Two of Cups in reverse. There could be a lot of dynamics changing with the people you surround yourself with. So there's friends, family members. It's like either they're changing or the situations are in flux. But the main vibe I was picking up here is like, no one's going to do it for me. No one's going to do this for me. If I want the results, I need to do this, or I need to do the work. So there's like an independent streak. On the back end, we have one of the best case scenarios, my friends. We have the Page of Wands, Ten of Cups in the upright. That could be some really good, great, or exciting news coming in. And to me, it's like once you turn this corner for real, boom, the results are like written in stone. I feel the win victory in the end, and it just feels beautiful. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card here at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get your shadow card here. What do we got for Cancer in the shadows? Thank you. Cool. Four of Swords, that's chill. I mean, it could be good. Now, the Four of Swords to me is one of the cards that I link to things like prayer, meditation, uh, altered states of consciousness, yoga, stuff like that. It's a lot of inward looking energy. And in its positive sense, it's rest, it's recuperation. I'm recharging, I'm recovering. That's the thing I really like about it. So it is a recovery of some sort. The only downside to the Four of Swords and the shadow side of it is sometimes it could be a lack of motivation. It could be a lack of energy. So it's funny that in the main part of the spread, it's like, go, 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 let's do this, let's do this. And in the shadows, we have the Four of Swords where it's like, is it worth the trouble? Should I do it? Like this could absolutely be an energy that second guesses. It does represent a break of some sort as well. So that's just something to be aware of. but it's great for resting and recuperating and recovering. That's one thing I do like. But yeah, there is this energy that's like, is it worth the effort? So we're just going to put it down right there, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The July calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the July subscriber surprise, doing another winner's choice, I will choose 3 lucky winners to either choose a copy of the Gilded Tarot Royale, which is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's a must-have, or a handmade pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in today's reading, which one spoke to you the most or jumped out to you the most or resonated with you. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.